if you think you can continue with a relationship, you guys would have to compromise and then be willing to correct each other's mistakes and stuff, and a lot of forgiveness. Then from there is the meeting the family stage. So probably a few visits to the guy's place and then a few visits to the lady's place for the family or some of the family to know. Obi, why? For the family to know the guy. Okay, so this is the guy you're with, or this is the lady you're with. And so from there, then you see if you can get married. And that's thank you. Gideon, why?
Yes, I'm sure.
Please, I'm done.
Where did you learn all this from? Okay, thank you.
UGRC 101.
Come in, yeah.
Platan, please talk for the boys.
Obi, you there?
Emmanuel,
Right.
So the way me as a Philippine there, I don't think we need enough scenario. Gone into very deep details.
I don't agree.
So are you guys saying you know all this?
You need a male's perspective.
Yeah, Obi, you ready?
Okay, so to be sincere with you, at this point of my life, if I'm looking for a relationship, it's not going to be a girlfriend and boyfriend thing. I'm going straight to marriage. So if I see you, I ask you, I like you, do you like me? If the answer is yes, then we'll move. I'll send the picture to my mother. If my mother likes the picture, then we'll move. Then we'll go to the hospital and check the blood type. ASS, we can't combine because we don't want SS. You understand? If it's AA, very good. Then we'll move. From there, we'll go and see the pastor. There's no need for any flashy with TBI. Coronavirus.
Who told you? Thank you, my brother.
Put the money in the
brother. You live long.
My guy, they lie.
Zlatan, why are you lying?
Then children
They lie.
I want like 3 children in the first year of the marriage. So after the intervals, so every 3 months, after we hitting the targets, after that, we'll see where God leads us.
Why are you
Thank you
lying?
very much.
Obi, are you really real?
The boy is being serious.
The guys, they don't be speak your mind.
Gilbert, yeah, I forgot to add something. What Obi said is true. You need to check your sickle cell status if you are compatible. It's very important. So if you are keeping the relationship, you have to check. If you don't check and you end up being AS, it's a worry.
Okay, thank you. William, you want to add up? Is William here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, what's your perspective? Because I think
What?
Obi. So, for the guys, what's your perspective?
Your line is breaking.
My line is breaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying that
Again.
perspective. Yeah, I have feedback. Daniel, please mute, yeah?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, mute. Daniel, since you're having feedback. Yeah, William, come in.
Yeah. What was the question again, please? You said?
The question was, from scrap, how do you start a relationship?
Oh, I second Mimi. I mean, I think she said everything right. I mean, from the times you guys meet to taking her number, I mean, vibing her, letting her know you have interest in her and all that. But then I don't really accept the premarital, because I mean, as Obi rightly said, if it's premarital sex, then why are you having it after marriage? So that's
Thank you
the
very
way.
much, Your Honor. I second.
Okay, guys. Thanks. Okay, so basically, it's almost like what you guys have said. You know, with this ladder, we have the awareness stage. This is a stage where you identify, a party as a feasible partner, exchange partner. So let's say you meet the lady or you meet a guy, which you think that this guy is or this lady falls within my preferences, and so that party or that lady becomes what a feasible exchange partner. You feel that we can actually be in a relationship. I can actually be in a relationship with this lady or this guy. At this point, at this stage where the awareness stage, there's no communication at this point. Okay, just probably maybe positioning or some gestures, but there has no communication has actually taken place during this stage, during the awareness stage. Okay, you just realize or recognize another party as a feasible exchange partner. Okay, you further move on to what the exploration stage, where you guys, begin the communication stuff and then get to know, your obligations and then the benefits that you're going to derive from the relationship that you are about starting or you started. And then also if there are some burdens, associated with the relationship, this is the stage where you get to know all these things. So it's like you're exploring, you get to know each other at this point. Okay. Now you move on to expansion, where it is the continual increase, in enjoying the benefits of the relationship and being interdependent, in the sense that interdependent in the sense that this is a stage where if the other party, needs some sort of financial assistance or needs some sort of, motivation, some psychological, help, this is where you guys help each other. And so it's an increasing, or continual increase in the benefits that you yet to derive in the relationship. And then we have commitment. So whilst you guys become interdependent, you tend to commit to each other. And I think this debate has been done already in the qualitative bit of the slides, where you guys were asked trust and commitment, which one comes first. I think you debated on that, and you had some quite interesting arguments ongoing on your platforms, which I enjoyed reading backstage. And so I believe by now we all abreast with what commitment to a relationship is. Dissolution up there reminds us of the fact that in every relationship there's a possibility of disengagement. Okay, i.e., there is a possibility of what, a divorce in a relationship. And so you're in a relationship where you realize that you are not actually benefiting from that relationship, or maintaining that relationship is very costly. You better dissolve it. It's better it's being dissolved. So like Mimi was saying, that when you realize that the relationship is not going well or is not going as expected, you dissolve or you go your separate ways, right? Are we clear on that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's look at the ladder for Kodla. Sorry, Kodla started is the same, has the same ideology, but with slight differences. Okay. So with Kodla, he started with suspects that and with suspects, they are people that once you see them or based on their demographics and then lifestyle analysis, you get to know that, oh, this person or this party actually falls within my target market. So for instance, you are into MacBooks, okay, you sell or you have a shop where you sell MacBooks or Apple products, okay, and then you meet this student or this person using an iPhone and then an iPod. Immediately that person becomes what, your suspect. You know that, oh, this person or this party falls within my target audience or my target market. And so marketing your MacBook to such a person wouldn't require much effort or much explanations or much energy to convert such a person to become yeah. And then so from suspect, the customer, the person or the party moves to become a prospect, where the party or the person, actively asks or inquires about the product. So the MacBook, oh, okay. So what are the terms and conditions, with respect to me purchasing the MacBook, or what is the price of the MacBook? Do you give some discounts? The person tries to make further inquiries about what the product, showing an interest in making a purchase. Okay. So if the person moves from just being a suspect to inquire more about the product, the person moves to the stage of being a prospect. Now, once the person gets to the stage of a prospect, that means that there's a likelihood or there's a possibility of the person making a first time purchase. Okay. So the person buys maybe the MacBook from you. And so if the person finds the services or the MacBook of a quality product, or your services of, you have a good customer service and all that, the person might be likely to make a repeat purchase. Okay. But in a situation where during the first time, the customer experience was bad, hardly would, that customer get to the next stage of the ladder. So once the customer is able to get to the other stage, the next stage, which is the repeat customers, it moves the marketer, from being a transactional marketer to a relationship marketer, in the sense that you, the marketer, would have to, or you have the obligation to move the customer through the ladder to get to the partnership. Okay, it becomes your responsibility as a marketer. And so if the customer continuously purchases, the customer becomes a client, where the customer has some kind of bond with a firm. Okay. And so from there, the customer moves to an advocate. Advocates are people that market, the firm on behalf of the firm. Do you get that? They are not employed to market the firm, but they do so based on their own will. So in form of word of mouth or recommendations or referrals, they try to, convince people or tell people about the firm and make them also purchase. So they become advocates of the firm. And then we get to they become members, and then finally get to the partnership stage, where they become part of the value creation process of the firm. Yeah. Are we cool on that? Okay, so moving on to the prospect hierarchy. There's the increasing likelihood of conversion of people to being active customers. Okay, so like we've explained the suspects already. Who can just explain or elaborate on what I just said about the suspect? Sorry, who can help us with what I just said about suspects? Let me know if you really understood what I said about suspects.
Okay, so you said when the customer is trying to inquire more about the products, then you should suspect the person to be a potential customer.
Who else? Suspect. Yeah, Abigail.
Okay, so you said that, wait, suspect or prospect?
Suspects.
Yes, suspect is someone who seems like they might have interest in the product or service that you are offering, maybe because of certain behaviors or like other products that you've seen that you have tasted. So it looks like they might be interested in yours as well.
Excellent. That's cool. Okay, so I believe we now get what or who suspects are, right? And so we move on to hand raisers. So hand raisers, are normally identified during surveys. Okay, so let's say CIM, Chartered Institute of Marketers, comes to UGBS to have a talk with the marketing students, and then at the end of the day or at the end of the program, they ask questions like, okay, so how many people or how many of you guys would want to register with us? Those that would want to register should fill these forms for us. Okay? So those that would show interest and take those papers or would answer yes are the hand raisers. And so you'll be able to know the people or those that are interested, in registering with what? The CIM. And so those people are called hand raisers. Okay. We have profile prospect. And with the profile prospect, looking at the profile of the customer, you realize that no, this customer actually falls within my target audience. And so I need to target, this customer in order to make that person, that group of people, your customers. Okay. We have referrals. So these referrals are normally um, like we said with the advocate, the advocate will refer these people to us, word of mouth and all that. So these people are they convert to become customers as a result of somebody or a customer of a firm recommending the firm to them. Enquiries are people that active enquiries about the firm. Probably they've come into contact with the firm and would want to know more about the firm. These people are likely to become customers because already they have interest. And so some may even um, go to or visit the firm, in person to make inquiries about their product or maybe mails or calls. These kind of people, once they've shown that keen interest, has that possibility or are likely to become customers of the firm. And then we have lapsed and former customers. So former customers have actually experienced the services of the firm and know what the firm is capable of providing or providing its customers. And so maybe due to a change in taste and preferences or due to some economic turn downs, the customer left, the firm. And so with such people, they are likely to become customers again. Okay. But if the customer left the company on a bad note, probably the customer was dissatisfied or probably the customer was angry and left on that note, hardly will you get those people to become customers. And hence, it is likely that your competitors would snatch these kind of people from your firm. Okay, so this is a potential, profit potential grade. Okay. What this grade is insinuating, or what this grade is telling us, is that once you're in a firm, you're supposed to know your customers, know them, and know how much profit they are contributing, to the firm. And so, if once those that are contributing higher profits, you know how to handle or you know how to retain these customers, and then those that are not making real profit on they are contributing less to your profit margins, you know how to also treat these kind of people. And so looking at the diagram, you can see that we have potential, we have high and low, which has to do with the wallet size of your customers. And then we have the profit contribution, which we have the high profit contribution and low profit contribution. So looking at this sector, you realize that this group of customers have high or big wallets, okay, and then they contribute high profit to the firm, okay. And so these kind of people, you try everything possible to retain them, because a loss of customer within this segment can actually affect the firm's profit. Okay, so I think in the next session, Doc will talk about key account management. There are some customers that they are very key to the organization, and so you need to make sure that their needs are met. And then we have those that have high large market size, market large wallets, okay, but contribute very low to the firm. Are you with me? Someone is giving us feedback. Um, Daniel, Daniel and Banahine, I think you are giving us feedback. Daniel, can you please mute in video?
I think you can mute him from your end.
Yeah. Mohammed, your hands are up. Your hand is up. Is it the old one or do you want to ask a question? Is Mohammed with us?
Yes, sir. Sorry, it was a mistake.
Okay. Yeah, so like I was saying, this sector of customers, okay, they contribute low profit to the firm, but they have large wallet size, right? So as a marketer, if you realize that your customer has a large wallet, but contributing very low profit to the firm, what would you do? What are some of the strategies you put in place to accrue more profits or accrue more from the wallet of that customer? That's a question to the class.
Please come again with the question.
The question is that if you realize that you have a customer, okay, or there are a group of customers that you know that these customers have big wallets, but they are contributing very small to your profit margins, what will you do as a marketer to accrue more, from their wallet? Anyone? Do you get a question at all?
No, not really, sir.
The question is, if you're a marketer, okay, and you realize that this customer, has a big wallet or has enough to spend, but contributing very small portion of that disposable income to your profit margin, what are some of the strategies? Yeah, Obi, what are some of the strategies that you put in place, to accrue more from such a customer? Yeah, Obi, come in.
Mostly what companies do is that they try to boost the egos of these big customers. What they can do is they can have special or customized product or service that suits the range you think this big customer can afford. For example, if you own a bakery and then you sell bread, you have the number 5 cedis bread, 10 cedis bread. You can have some 50 cedis bread be that you write bread or bread on top. You see, just because of this one is bigger, and you just offer this big bread to the customer instead of the smaller ones, it's a high chance that they'll buy it just because it's bigger and they can afford it rather than the small ones that you never sell. Or if it's a place where you offer services, and for example, you do hair, nails, and what have you can include massage, and at that price range, you know very well that this particular customer or group of customers can really afford it. So sometimes it's not just because they are not participating, it's because you don't have the service that is worth what you think they can pay. And that sometimes can just help. Adding something that wasn't there before and increase the price or elevate that price would engage the customers' attention. Also, customization. Big customers like it when things are done into their taste or their satisfaction. So that also helps their attention.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, so like Obi rightfully said, these are some of the strategies that you have to put in place. So adding up to your service or your product. So another instance can be where you are into phones. Okay, you sell just phones, and customer comes, buys the phones, and then leave. You can add accessories to the phones, as in the protectors, the memory cards, and other accessories that would increase the amount of money that the customer would give to the firm. So thank you, Obi, for that. We have this sector of customers where they have low wallet. Okay, their disposable income is quite low, but they try to contribute high to your profit margins, and these kind of customers you try and then you retain. And then we have this group of people that they have low wallet size, as well as um, 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 contributing low to your profit margins. And so with these kind of people, you don't really pay attention to them, or since you are not really making profit out of them. So acquisition, retention, and zero defection. Who can help me with explaining these things? Because I believe by now we should be familiar with these terms. Who hasn't spoken this morning? Charlotte Mensah, are you here? Charlotte. Is Charlotte in class? Okay. It seems she's ghosting. Patience. Patience, are you in class?
Yeah, sir, give me time to think about it. I'll get back at you.
Okay. So who can help? Who can come in? What is acquisition? What is retention? Any of them? What is zero defection? Daniel 82. Can you help us?
Okay, so please, I think acquisition is about gaining customers.
Okay. And then retention?
Yes, it's about gaining customers, and specifically new customers into the market, into your market.
Okay. And you have an idea about retention?
Yeah, retention is after they have the new prospects has become your customers. You keep them through customer relationship. Making sure they still buy from they buy your products or services at all time. They become loyal to you, where customers become loyal.
Okay. So can you help with the zero defection too, or I should move on to underpet?
Yes, I move on.
Who can help with the zero defection? Because I've explained that during the leaky bucket theory. Mimi, can you save the class? Mimi. Yeah, Mohammed.
So I know what defection means, but then I'm not entirely sure if the zero defection
Okay.
is what I think
So
it
can I?
is.
Okay, Daniel.
So it's like
Okay.
trying to make sure that none of your customers leave your business, like they keep purchasing from you. So you have zero defection.
Else, Well, Daniel, you wanted to say something.
So I think that's what she said. Within a business period, when the business didn't experience any form of customer leaving the customer, I mean losing a customer.
Okay. I think that you interchanged, or probably you viewed it from a different perspective. I was saying that zero defection is where by as a firm you can't retain all your customers, and so we said that some may die, some may leave as a result of taste change in taste and preferences and all that. You've forgotten right now. Guys, you forgot it right now. That no firm can actually retain all its customers. Okay, you take note of that, yeah. So
Yes,
we move on. Yeah, we move on. You might explain somewhere, along the line. So you take note of that. Okay, so frontline cost. You're saying that firms that are into RM normally incur these kind of costs. Where earlier on I said that hardly will you find customers trooping in insurance firms to insure their life, and so they have to employ the services of sales agents or sales personnel to acquire customers for them. And so during this process, they are being paid these sales personnel are being paid commissions. Okay. And so I have a friend, an instance here. I have a friend that used to work with Beach Capital, now Consolidated Bank Ghana. Okay. And then his duty was to acquire customers for the firm. So he goes out there, and each customer that he's able to acquire or makes that customer, acquire that customer to make a first purchase, he's being paid a commission of 10 cedis. And so his basic pay is 400 cedis. But if he's able to, acquire 100 customers in a month, that means that he's looking at 1,400 at the month, at the end of the month. And if he's able to, acquire 150, that means he's looking at 1,900, customers at the end of the month, which is a cost to the firm or to Consolidated Bank. Okay, yes, of course, data collection is also expensive because you need to employ the services of researchers or probably buy data from organizations, and so it becomes a cost, to the firm. We're looking at equipment. Equipment is in some contracts or in some firms they used to hire equipment or machineries to fulfill a contract, and so if a customer prior to the write-off of the contract or prior to the end of the contract terminates or leaves the company, it becomes a loss to the company. However, if the customer stays with the company till the end and renews the contract, it becomes a profit, as relationship marketing looks at a long term or is interested in a long term profit. Advertising and communication. We know those in the media space or those that have an idea about what goes on in media. That advertising is very, very expensive. Purchasing an airtime, 30 seconds airtime is quite expensive, and so it becomes a cost to the firm. Are we okay with that? Are we okay with that?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Okay. Any question or contribution? Any question or contribution? We'll be getting to the calculation bit very soon. I hope you have your calculators. Any question, contribution? Okay, so you're saying that all things being equal, effective performance will derive the firm, a long-term benefit. And then when you have a small ratio, a small retention ratio, that is the cost of retaining your customers, are less, there is that possibility of enjoying that long-term benefit. However, if retaining customers are expensive, like an FMCG, where you have to retain customers, it would be expensive, and so for you to retain those customers. But if retaining customers in a financial services or in other industries is small or is less, then it is worth it in retaining that those customers. And then we have the industry type. So most customers would not, most customers that have, let's say, dental problems would not want to visit different dentists, to be treated or to offer services, but would want to stick with a particular dentist. Okay. And so the type of industry lends itself to the relationship. And then at the end of the day, you're able to accrue that long-term benefit that is associated with establishing relationship with your customers. And yes, of course, customer willingness to engage in a relationship. If your customers are not, engaging, how do you make profit? So it is only when your customers engage that you'll be able to make profit. Okay, so this is the metrics we're going to look at. Okay, we are entering into the calculation bit. Are you with me? We are entering into the calculation bit of the relationship marketing. And so we have the traditional marketing mix, and then we have the customer acquisition metrics. You have the customer customer activity metrics as well. And so we'll go through them one after the other. Before we get there, do you guys have any question or contribution before we get to the calculation bit? Guys.
No, please.
Yeah, class is very quiet. Why?
It's because of the calculation.
So we are here.
But we are yet to start the calculation. So why?
What we are seeing is scaring us.
But what you are saying right now, I'm telling you.
On God, on God.
Oh, but like Doc said,
God day.
Yeah, it's not like the normal quantitative bit or the quantitative work is that you've been doing. It is quite simpler. Okay. So yeah. Okay, so we're starting with the market share. Okay. That is a share of a firm's sales relative to the sales of all firms, across all customers in a given market. So once you're in an industry or in a particular market, you would want to know as a marketer your share you have in that market. Okay. Are we clear with that?
Yes.
And so it is normally, or it is measured in percentages. And there's the formula. And so because it's measured in percentage, we have 100 times, to bracket SJ, which represents the sales of a particular firm. So that is your firm, the firm that you are into. And then we have Sigma SJ, which is the sum of all firms, within that market, within that particular market. Okay.
Please, your line is not clear, sir.
The line is not clear. Okay, so I was saying that the market share has to do with, knowing the percentage of the markets that you have. Okay, so the share of a firm's sales relative to the sale of all other firms. So in an industry, you want to know your share or the share you have in that market or in that industry. Are we clear on that?
Yes.
Okay, and then I was saying that it is being calculated in percentages. Hence, we have the formula to be 100 times into bracket SJ, which is the sale of a particular firm. And then the sigma, we know, is a summation. Okay, so it's the sum of all other, the sales of all other firms in the market. Yes. And so how do you get your information? The numerator, which is the top one, you can get them from internal records. That is your sales, okay, the sales that you've made within that period of time. And then the denominator, you can get it from market research reports or competitive intelligence. We are saying that it is a common measure of marketing performance. So this metrics helps you to know how well you are performing in a market or how badly you are performing in a market. And does not provide any information about how sales are distributed across customers. So here with this metric, it tells you, your sale or your sales that you have in that market, but it doesn't explain or it doesn't, let you know how much each customer is contributing to that sales. Okay, so that is a shortfall of this metric. Although it will let you know the total sales you have in that market, but you will not be able to know how much each customer is contributing to that sales. Yeah. And so this is a hands-on. We're going to try this. I hope you have your calculators and books with you. So we have companies. Okay, so this is company A, B, C, D, E, and you're going to work out, or you're going to find the sales, the share of each of these companies in this particular market. Okay, so if you didn't take down the formula, I'm going back so that you take down the formula. This we normally do in class, so we do the workings on the board, but it's quite unfortunate we have to go about it this way. And so this is it. So that's the formula. So you put it down because I'll be going back to the hands-on slide. Okay. Are you done writing the formula down?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
But I hope you understand the formula because you're going to work with this without me. You're going to work it alone and then you mention your results to me. So if you don't get the formula well, you let me know so that I explain further or I elaborate further. Are you all okay with the explanation with respect to the, yeah, Abigail?
Yeah, please, can you go through the formula one more time?
Okay, so the formula I was saying that it is mostly measured in percentages. And so we have 100 here, okay, times into bracket the sales of a particular firm. So let's say company A, okay, the sales of company A divided by the sum of all sales of the firms in that industry. Are we okay? And that should give us your share of the market. Are we okay on that?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. So this is the hands-on. You have your companies, you have your sale revenue, you have the number of customers. And so you do the calculation in about 5 minutes. Do the calculation and then let's discuss the outcome. Please, everybody do it because I'll mention names at random to give me the figures.
So is it the calculation for each company or?
Yeah, for each company. So company A, you want to know the market share of company A. You'd want to know the market share of company B, C, D, and E. Yeah. When you're done, you alert me. We have about 5 minutes to finish this. It's very simple and easy to calculate, right? Who is done? You need to follow and participate because normally the analytics is a compulsory part of the exam. Yeah. So you need to really follow. If you're done, you raise your hand. Okay.
Sir,
Yeah.
can we please have a look at the formula once more? Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Anyone done? This is so simple and easy to calculate, right? Or do you need a clue as to how to go about it? Yeah, Samuel, you done?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so can you give me the your results? Company A, B.
For each for company I got 20%.
Okay.
For company B I got 6%.
Okay.
For company C 16%. Company D 40%. Company E 18%.
Okay, thank you. Who else has a different result? Who else has a different result? Miriam, are you done? Mimi.
I had the same result, sir.
Okay. Confirm. Who is also done? A third person to confirm, so we continue. The ladies, where are you guys? Any lady to confirm? Stella Broma. Stella, are you there? Okay, Malik has the answers here. Same results. Okay. Okay, so once you're done with, the calculation, you realize that company D had the highest market share, okay, and then company B has the lowest market share. And so as a marketer in company B, having the lowest market share, what are some of the strategies that you're going to put in place to, gain a higher or increase your market share in the industry or in that particular market? There's a question to the class, please.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Please come again with the question.
Yeah, I'm saying that I hope you all have the results, right?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And so you realize that company B had the lowest market share, okay, and then company D had the highest. And so as a marketing strategy in company B with the lowest market share, what are some of the strategies that you're going to put in place, to increase your market share in such an industry or in that market?
By offering innovative technology, strengthening customer loyalty and relationships, as well as hiring talented employees.
Okay, that's excellent. Thank you for that. Gideon, you want to add more?
So I think product differentiation would also help increase their market share.
Okay.
So when we look at when we look at Bell Aqua, they brought about the active. I think it was also able to capture another segment of the market, which people also buy that water as a substitute for the mineral water itself. So I think that way they've been able to also increase their market share.
Okay, that's an excellent example. Thanks for that. Okay, so as a marketer in firm B, you would also want to employ or undertake strategies such as market penetration, where within that same market with your existing product you push more through promotions and other campaign activities. Okay, and then also you would want to product development, like our friend just said that Bell Active, they were able to come up with a new product in the same market. That is product development, same product, a new product in the same market, to increase their market share. How about a marketer in company D? What are some of the strategies you put in place as a market leader, or let's say a firm with the highest market share, to retain or to your customers? What are some of the strategies you put in place as a market leader or with the highest market share?
Sir, come again.
Yeah, I'm saying that as a relationship marketer or as a marketer in firm D, what are some of the strategies that you're going to put in place, being the highest market shareholder?
Okay, so I think being the highest market, who's that? Being being the highest market, shareholder, you should be able to put in place mechanisms on maintaining your current customers, since you already control the market, and then it seems you have everything in place. I'm coming. Since you have everything in place, the customers love your product and everything, and that's moving into you, and then they are dealing with you. So you don't really need to do much concerning, I mean, the fact that you are already leading the market, but then you should be able to maintain, put in policies to maintain, I mean, do some giveaways or some stuff to make your customers happy so that they would not go in for your competitor.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else to add up? Or I should continue?
So, sir, I believe that it's much easier to acquire customers than retain customers. So, having the highest market share in the market, I feel my company has a lot to do. So, I'm going to do more product varieties. So, I'm going to kind of produce like the same products, but I'm going to bring varieties of that same product so that I'll be able to satisfy my target market, and more promotion. But my promotion will be in the form of probably advertisements to create more awareness about my products, their use, and the benefits. Yes.
Okay, thank you. It looks like you just explained, 2 P's out of the 4 marketing P's: promotion and a product. Who can add the other 2 P's? Explain with respect to being a marketer in Company D. So she has.
Okay, so I also think that at this point in time, since you are controlling the market, you would realize that you have a number of people coming from specific geographical location. So let's say at this point you have only one branch throughout Ghana. So you can, by making sure that the customers feel free and also are at ease, you can set up other branches elsewhere to make sure that constantly, anytime that they want to get your products or they want to shop or do anything business with you, you can have access to that place as well.
Okay, thank you. That is place, right? So it's left with price.
Yes,
yeah. Who can help us with the price?
Okay, so I think that most companies, when they feel that they control the markets, would want to, in most cases, increase prices since they think that they are ahead of any other company. But that is when competition also sets in. So I think that pricing method at this point in time should be very moderate for each and everyone to be able to afford the kind of products that you're selling, because increasing it will give room for other competitors to also come and take away your customers.
Okay, exactly. Thank you. Great contributions. And with respect to the price, also, you can also adopt strategies such as the price endings, where you end your prices with probably for example, you go to the malls, yeah, you realize that something that is 10 cedis, they will just put it 99, 0.00, just 1 peso, some 5 pesos coins, that. But with that, the customer will still think that that product is within the range of 9 cedis. Okay, it hasn't gotten to 10 cedis yet, and so you can also employ, the quality, the quality price inferences, yeah, and all that. So these are some of the strategies that you can employ as a marketer in these 2 firms to, either boost or maintain your market share. So we move on to sales growth. So we're saying that it compares changes in sales volume or sales value in a given period of time, in a given period, to sales volume or value in previous periods. So for instance, you want to know whether from January to let's say March, you grew in sales or you declined. So you want to know whether from January to February, was there an increase in growth, a sales growth, or there was a decrease or a decline in sales growth, and then that of March. So we're going to calculate that as well. And so that is also measured in percentages. Hence, we have 100 times change in the sales, okay, of a particular firm divided by the sales of the previous, firm. Okay, so the change has to do with subtracting the current sales from the previous one. So let's say January and February, you subtract February from that of what January in order to get the change in what sales divided by the previous, which is the January, the sales in the previous month, which is January. Are we cool with that? Are you okay? So you write it down because we're going to try our hands on.
Yeah.
Sir, please take it again.
Yeah, we are saying that sales growth is measured in percentages, okay? And so we have 100 times the change in sales of a particular firm, where change in sale means or refers to the fact that you deduct the current sale from the previous sale. So the sale in February from that of January divided by the sales in a previous month, okay? That is the January. Are we okay with that?
So it's more of new minus old about old, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Are you guys done writing the formula?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the information source, both the numerator and then denominator, will be derived from what internal records, and then it is a quick indicator, to determine the current health of the firm, and so you get to know whether you making, sales or you declining in sales, you have an increased sales or not, and then does not provide any information about changes in customer size. So whether calculating this metric, it wouldn't give you the advantage of or getting to know whether the change in sale, which is an increase or decrease, is as a result of an increase or decrease in customer size. You will not be able to know from this metric. So that is one of the shortfalls of the metric. That at the end of the day, even though you know that you are growing in sales, you don't know whether you had new customers coming in or it's the same old customers that are giving you larger share of their wallet. Okay. So you have the hands-on. So you're saying that in January, the total sales were 550,000. Okay, that is in January. And then while in February, they went up to 75,000. In March, however, sales went down to 60,000. Calculate the month-on-month growth rate for the firm. So the month-on-month growth rate has to do with looking for getting to know January, February, and March. So you're working for January, February, and March. Okay, you want to know the sales growth in each of them. Yeah. So you try your hands on that and let's move on. Are you okay with that?
Yes, dog.
Dog is not around. It's Gilbert. I will not yet get to that title. Yeah, Gideon.
Yes, sir. For the month of February, I had
You start from January. You want to know January, February, and March. So start from January.
okay. So January, I can't tell of January because I don't know of December sales.
But January is right here. We say that in January the total sales were this. So you just have to put it that January is 50,000.
Okay, so if I'm to find a growth in January, then it means that I'll have to know that of December before I can do that.
Yes, but what I'm saying is that you have the sales of January. You just take because you're not giving that of December. So what you're supposed to do in an exam is that you write January, you have 50,000 sales. That is sales in January. You get what I'm trying to say?
Okay, okay, okay. So in January there was 50,000 sales.
Okay.
Yeah, and in February there was 75,000 sales. That was a 50% sales growth. And in March there was a 60,000 sales from 75,000 to 6,000, and that was a negative 13.33% sales growth for that particular month.
For which month?
For March.
For March.
Yes, please.
Okay. You had what?
I had a negative 13.33.
Check your calculations again. I'm not sure.
Hello, sir.
Yes, I think patience has also.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please. Gideon.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Daniel.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I think for the first January and January to February he was right, but from February to March it was 20%, negative 20%.
Thank you.
That is a decrease.
Okay, yeah, that is true. And so patients also had same negative 20% and then 50% for February, January. And then Malik also. Okay. So you realize that in February there was an increase in sales, okay. But however, in March there was a decrease in sales. What do you think would account for that decrease in sales? What would you think would account for a decrease in sales? Assuming you're a marketer in such a firm and there's a decrease in sales and they come to you that why? What do you think affected our sales, or what do you think had an impact on our sales? What are you going to? What are some of your suggestions, or what would you say to that? Guys, it's almost time. Let's speed up.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Daniel.
I think there was a defect, a percent, and how will I say, a degree of defection.
Yeah. Okay, that they lost some customers.
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. Any other reason? Okay, if there's no other reason, what strategies would you want to put in place, as a marketer in such a firm? Okay, Malik said they were not able to retain their customers. Okay, that's what he also said. Yeah, Emanuela.
Proper marketing execution.
Elaborate further.
So I'm going to take the 4 P's into consideration. So in terms of products, the company should make sure that This time they conduct a research on why sales reduce, so they can actually rebrand their products, repackage their product to make it attractive, and in order to attract more customers and to retain the previous customers. And in terms of price, so the price of the product, to me, I feel the price they can actually compare with that of competitors to see why there was a decrease in sales. And if the price is abnormal, they can bring the price down a little bit in order to attract more customers. And promotion, they should use sales, promotion, advertisement to create awareness about their products. Yes. And the last one, place. So I feel that companies should distribute their product to places where it is needed, where their target markets can be located. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Excellent. Okay, so Radia was also saying that customers were not satisfied with service or product. So what would you do, to resolve that? If customers were not satisfied with, the services of the firm, what will you do? Anyone to help Rakia on that? What would you do as, a firm if you realize that customers were not satisfied with your services?
So you can give out warranty.
Warranty, okay. How?
Can you hear me out?
They are not satisfied with your services. So what do you think is best to do in terms of, making your customers or impressing your customers with your services? Mohammed said improve on your service delivery. Malik said training their employees. Okay, that was what I was looking for. If you realize that your services or customers are not, okay, or dissatisfied with your services, you have to train your staff. Okay, you have to give them training on how to deliver quality services in order to your customers. Okay, yeah. So what was the time? It's 1:30. Okay, so I think that we ending at 1:30, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we were able to finish the market share and then sales growth with the metrics, and there are more, there are more to do. So Doug is going to complete with you guys the qualitative bit next week, and then from that time I'll also take over and then we'll finish with the qualitative bit. So thank you guys for staying. I hope you understood what we did today.
Yes.
Thank you too.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So did you guys enjoy the class?
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes,
You
we
did a very
do.
good job. We appreciate you, sir.
Okay. But
So Obi Mano, where did you go?
you don't you
Right
don't
now.
hesitate, getting in touch if you don't understand anything, because the quality.
Sir, please, can you leave your
Okay, Gilbert,
WhatsApp
thank
number so we
you.
get in touch?
Come again?
Your number?
Your WhatsApp number.
I'm on the group page.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey. Hey. Hey. Please, what's name?
I mentioned my name earlier. Ask Mimi. Mimi added B, so ask Mimi.
Hey, Mimi.
Sir, Mimi is mentally occupied. So if you can help us, we'd appreciate it.
Okay, Gilbert. Gilbert means yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Cool. Okay, so see you guys next week.
All right, then.
All right, sure.
Bye. God bless you.
Bye.
Goodbye, sir.
Bye.